Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Brett Rowley and I come here every week to talk about business strategy and marketing, promotions, entrepreneurship. Those are the things that I love, and I love talking about it, and I love talking about them with you. So thank you so much for being here. Today we are talking about how to keep up the momentum through the holidays. And this is something that so many people struggle with, myself included. I know how easy it is to say, oh, screw it, I'll pick this back up in January. I'm gonna go to these holiday events. I'm going to spend time with my family. My fiance is taking time off, so I'm gonna take time off too. I know how that goes. And here is the reason why I think it's so important as a business owner and as an entrepreneur to avoid losing that momentum. And it comes down to this. You work so hard the rest of the year. Don't let it be a 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of situation when you get to November and December. Don't waste that momentum. Don't waste that hard work by taking 45 days off essentially at the end of the year. Going from Thanksgiving all the way into the new year and just kind of slacking off and mailing it in. I think it's so important to every month, and it's not just a yearly thing, it's not just a November, December thing. Every month, build on the progress that you made the month before and use each month as a launch pad to the next. It's so easy to get bogged down into the day-to-day of business ownership and entrepreneurship and just get in the hamster wheel of maintaining, and you lose your growth opportunities within that. So 4 tips that I have for you guys for how to keep up momentum through the holidays. The first is to avoid procrastination. It's so easy, I get it. I was one of those people in college. I didn't study until the morning of the test at all. And so I understand how tempting it can be to procrastinate, especially this time of year. Why I want to encourage you to avoid that is because, just like we were talking about, you want to treat each month as a springboard to the next, whether it's January or June. You want to make sure that urge or that temptation to put projects off until January 1st. Look, I love a new beginning as much as anyone. I love Mondays. I love the first of the month. Like, for me, those are days that I can really kind of kickstart something new. But what you want to avoid is resisting the urge for 30 days or for 45 days, whenever the holidays start and you start to feel that tug of, oh, this is something that I'll revisit after the new year. Resist that urge. Because what it's going to do is it's all going to pile up, right? And you'll never get to it. When you get back into the office in January, or if you did take time off to be with family or to travel, when you get back into the office, if you've procrastinated, first of all, there's not only that time that you've wasted over the course of the month, but now you're so overwhelmed in January that you're going to be paralyzed by the amount of decisions that you have to make. So avoid procrastination. Don't look at January 1st as this huge, big transition and first of the year. Look at it as just another page in the calendar turning, and you're continuing to move forward each month as a springboard to the next. The key to being able to avoid procrastination is having a strategy. I think that's the biggest thing that people push off, is figuring out what to do next. So as you go into this time of the holidays, have a to-do list, have a strategy of what you want to achieve between now and January 1st, and make sure that you're knocking those things off the list so that when you get back into the office, if you do take time off, you can hit the ground running and be strategic about it. The second thing to help you keep that momentum through the holidays is to focus on development. So I'm not blind. I know that there are some companies that do slow down over the holidays. I know sometimes client work is a little bit lessened over the holidays because people haven't yet read my blog or watched this video and kept up the momentum. So I do know that that happens. But the key here is to not use that as an excuse to mail it in for the rest of the year. Don't use that as an excuse of, oh, well, my clients aren't in the office, so I can kind of slack off, or I can, do what I need to do. The best thing that you can do for your business over the holidays, if you're slow from a client perspective, is to focus on development. You know you have that list of things that you've wanted to accomplish over the course of the year that you just never had time to do, or a new product or service that you want to launch or offer, or even just the creation of a marketing strategy that you can use going into the next year. This is the time to put that into practice. So use this time for development. You're not going to get another quote unquote slow season for a while. And so use this time over the holidays to focus on development, plan for the next year, and really use it to push your business forward rather than just copping out and saying, oh, well, my clients aren't working, so I'm going to kind of slack off as well. The third tip is to stick to your routine. If you work from home or if you're going into the office, whatever your routine is that works for you throughout the rest of the year, don't let it slip during the holidays. Don't let it slip in November and December, and it's so tempting. I get it. People are taking PTO, people are leaving early, people have events that they're getting to. Maybe your husband or wife or boyfriend, girlfriend is taking time off and you want to be with them. Whatever it is, avoid the temptation to scrap your normal routine as much as you can. Keeping that sense of normalcy is key to being productive. And I think that that's, throughout the year, but especially during this time where it's very tempting to go shopping for your Christmas presents at 9 a.m. because you can avoid the crowds and because you can. But resist that urge and stay in the office so that you can set yourself up for success in 2019. I think this slow season is a lie. I think that your business is going to grow as quickly or as slowly as you want it to. So if you want to take the slow season off, that's fine, but don't tell yourself that you can't do anything about it, because this is the time that you can push forward, that you can set yourself up for growth in the next year. Keep the momentum that you've built throughout the last year, and that's where you're going to see that springboard effect, where you're not growing incrementally, you're growing exponentially because you plan well throughout the course of the end of the year. The last thing, and I'm not going to say the most important thing because all of these things are important, but procrastination and lack of productivity and lack of focus has a snowball effect. So at least for me, if I am slacking off one day, it is so easy for me to just roll into the next and say, oh, I don't want to do anything now. Once you fall out of that routine, once you fall out of that habit of being productive, it's so hard to rein it back in and to get back into the office and to get back on track. So don't let that snowball happen to you. And what I mean by that is, if you take a few days off around Thanksgiving and then you get back into the office and it's the 1st of December, you've got holiday parties, and then all of a sudden you're looking at the calendar and it's like December 30th and you're wondering where the month went, avoid letting that snowball effect happen to you. And here's the way you do it. Give yourself some grace. So if you be super consciously aware of your productivity, and if you slack off one day, give yourself a little bit of grace. Don't beat yourself up about it, but get back to work the next day. Don't let it snowball. Don't let it build, because that's where you're going to look back and say, I really haven't been productive for the last 45 days of the year. And now I'm back in the office in January going, oh shit, what do I do now? I've got all of these things that I could have done, and I'm just swimming, trying to keep my head above water because everything piles up after the first of the year. So those are my 4 things. Don't procrastinate, stick to your routine, give yourself some grace, and what was my 4th one? Focus on development. I got out of order. So those are my 4 things. Avoid procrastination, focus on development, stick to your routine, and give yourself some grace. If you do have a little bit of a slip or you do travel some for the holidays, give yourself a little bit of grace. Carve out hours where you need to. The big thing here is just to acknowledge that you've worked hard throughout the rest of the year. Don't let it go to waste around the holidays in November and December. Set yourself up for success in the next year in January. So a few things for you guys if you've stuck around this long. We talked about routine and sticking to your routine. If you don't feel like you have a great routine and your productivity fluctuates day to day, I have a great challenge running this month. I'll link it below in the comments. But it's basically how to set up your routine, 5 days, how to set up your routine to where you can get up, get to work, be productive. So definitely check that out. Check that out if you're struggling with getting a set routine, especially for those of you who work from home. It's so hard to kind of get that routine set. So that is there for you. There's also, I'm putting together, if you're getting to the end of the year and you are a little worried about how to stay focused and how to keep this momentum, I'm linking a link to my webinar below. I have a full webinar on how to be productive, how to set up systems in your business to help you be productive, and make sure that you are pushing forward during this quote unquote slow season that I told you I don't believe in. So check those two things out if you need some additional resources or just some extra momentum to keep you focused in the office. So thanks again for watching. If you like what you see and you're interested in business growth ideas and more content like this, make sure to hit subscribe. I come here, like I said, every week and talk about different topics to help your business grow. Until next time.